What is up? It's the Mathaholics back at it with another math tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to add fractions, whether they have the same denominator or a different one. Very simple and easy to do. So first you notice in both of these fractions they each have a whole number, a 6 and a 3. You're going to add the whole numbers together. So the 6 and the 3, that gives you a 9. And then you have left the 2/5 and the 3/5. So since they have the same denominator, you're just going to add straight across. 2 plus 3 equals 5. And then when you're adding fractions, you do not change the denominator, okay? So leave it how it is. So 5 and 5, they just stay as 5. All right, now we see we have a 9 and 5/5. Technically that is correct. However, we know that 5 over 5 is the same thing as 1 over 1, which is the same as just 1. So now we have a 9 and a 1. That just gives you 10. And that's your final answer right there. That was really easy. Let's do a little harder one. Delete all that for you. Oh, and by the way, when we get to 150 subscribers, we're going to give away 3 gift cards to Cane's. So help yourself out. Just subscribe and maybe you'll get some free chicken. All right, next problem. Now, the rules are a little bit different when we do not have the same denominator. In the last one, we had the same denominator, but in this one, we have 4 and we have an 8. So that's going to be something we're going to have to work with. But the first step is going to stay the same. We're going to add our leading coefficients. 3 plus 3 is 6. And now we can't just do 1/4 plus 5/8 because when you add fractions, you need to have the same denominator. So how can we turn this fraction into something that, this first fraction right over here, into something that is equivalent with the denominator of the second fraction? Well, very simple. So you notice the denominator is an 8, and the smallest number that goes into 4 and 8 is 4. I said that backwards, all right? I apologize. Forget what I just said the last 5 seconds. So you need a number that 8 goes into and 4 goes into as well. You're going to turn this 4 into an 8. To do that, you just multiply by 2. So 1 over 4 times 2 is going to give you 2 over 8. Now you have the same denominator in the 5/8 and the 2/8. And keep in mind, this fraction right here, this new fraction we just created, the 2 over 8, is equivalent to the 1/4. And you're going to be able to multiply to change fractions the rest of your math career. As long as you multiply the top number and the bottom number by the same number, those fractions will be equivalent. So remember that from this day on. Okay, so we had the 6, and we replaced that 1/4 with the 2 over 8. So I'm going to rewrite that for us. And now we can just do the exact same thing we did in our first problem because they had common denominators, and now these also do. So 2 plus 5 was that. That's 7. That's an ugly equal sign, but it's okay because we don't like math too much, so we make ugly signs, right? Now, 8 and 8, do we add those to get 16? No, right? Why not? Just like I said in the last example, when you're adding fractions, you leave the denominators exactly how they are. You do not add them. You have an 8 here, you have an 8 here, now you have an 8 here. So your final answer is just going to be the 6 that you found originally and 7/8. Just like that. 6 and 7 over 8. Now we have one more little problem. So if you understood how we did those first 2 problems, maybe you want to pause the video and try to do this one yourself. But if you still need a little bit more help, that's alright. That's why I'm making this video. So just feel free to watch, pause it, whatever you need to do. I just want to make sure you understand this, alright? You're going to be the smartest kid in your class. I promise you that. So first we add the leading coefficients, how we did in the first 2 examples. 6 and 7 If you're saying that's 13, then I'm very proud of you. I hope you win that Cane's gift card. So, like I said, subscribe. So, anyway, 2 over 7 plus a half. Now, are we going to just be able to do 3 over 9? Is that correct? No, that is a big fat F on your paper. And I've said this multiple times, so I'm sure you already knew that we weren't able to do that. So what do we have to do? 2 over 7. Jesus, I think that dog had an answer for me. I don't know if it was right though. I don't speak dog. If any of you speak dog and want to translate for me, let me know in the comments below if that dog had the right answer. So what number can 7 go into, but that 2 can also go into? I believe the smallest number, well, not I believe, I'm being a little humble. I know the smallest number is 14. So we're going to turn both of these fractions into a fraction with a denominator of 14. Now, how did I go from 7 to 14? All I had to do was multiply by 2. And what did I say in the last example? When you do something to one half of the fraction, you have to do it to the other half of the fraction as well. So you're going to multiply this by 2 as well, and that's going to give you 4. Let me get rid of this times 2 before it confuses one of us. And then we're going to do the exact same thing, and I'm sorry, that should be a 4. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did over here with this first fraction. So to go from 2 to 14, what did you have to multiply by? 7. Perfect. So you're going to do the same thing to the top. Multiply 7 times 1. That's going to give you 7. And if we write these fractions side by side, the 1/2 and the 7 over 14, we see that they are equivalent. Quick example if you still don't understand that. This is a pizza, right? It's really ugly, but it's okay. This pizza was cut into 2 slices. So a half of the pizza is just this slice right here. Now this pizza over here, oh boy, let's see if I can make 14 slices. Yeah, more or less. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, not even close. All right, let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know why I drew another line and thought it was going to give me 14. Your math teacher, guys. That's Nevada's education. All right, so now we have 14. Now, I know that was a very ugly pizza, and none of you would probably eat this, but if I shaded in 7 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I still have half of the pizza left, just how I did in this first one. And I only drew that little example up to show you in case you still didn't understand why the 1/2 and the 7 over 14 are equivalent. So now that I'm sure you understand, let me make some room for you. Bam, delete. Now we know that all we have to do is add across. So we have the 13. We have the 13 that we found originally. Whoops, and that pizza just, I don't know. You bit into the crust and the cheese came all out. Alright, so we have that 13 that we found from the 6 and 7, which is right there. And now we just rewrote it down here, 13, plus these 2 fractions that we found by multiplying these fractions out. So 4 plus 7, that gives us 11. And then do we add the 14s or do we not? No, we don't. And I'm only telling you that so when the test comes around, you don't freak out and forget. So I've told you about 3 times now. So now we have 13 and this. You just put them together like we did, and a 13 starts with a 1, not a 3, excuse me. 11 over 14. Now I hope this video helped you out, and thank you very much.
Hey.
What's up? Nice to see you again.